enthusiasts of all kinds to the Dr. Joe Show. Today we have a great episode lined up, but first I'd like to talk about a little something. I had a bit of a difficult time deciding on how I wanted to present this episode. I want to keep things organized because we have a few different series going on. As you know, there's the Cigar Collectibles series, and there's the reviews, which I didn't start till coming back, only a few months ago, really. And I just didn't know how to go about this. The thing is that now that I'm doing reviews, I want to review everything that comes in. In the past, when we did Cigar Collectibles, when I was doing those episodes next to Fake or Fine, we never really reviewed the cigars from the jars. You know, Partagas Pt1, Bolivar China, Gloria Cubana Deliciosos, all those Cigar Collectibles episodes, and we never reviewed those cigars. One day we will. I have plans for that. However, now that we're doing reviews, I want to review the cigars that come in. So I'm saying to myself, do I put this in the Cigar Collectibles category? Do I put it in the reviews category? I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. Right now I'm in front of the camera. I guess I might decide once I start editing. Depends on how long the collectibles part of it turns out. And it's not going to be that long because I want to save the brand history and everything for, well, when I'm smoking. I'd much rather sit there and talk while I'm smoking than stare at a camera with a jar next to me and talking all about brand history. I just think it's better that way. The jar is basically just going to be a, you know, here it is, take a look, fantastic, let's go smoke, you know. Of course, there's a little more to it than that. I want people to pay attention to the packing. I want them to see why I recommend some of the sites I recommend. This jar, by the way, is another item that came from Finest Cuban Cigars, who I've been telling pretty much everyone emailing me as of late that is my number one preference of all the sites I recommend right now. The only time I'll go outside of that is if they don't have something I need. And I'll always ask first because a lot of times they can't acquire whatever it is I need. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Perhaps once we smoke and we go brand history, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But why I'm talking about all this as well is that, you know, recently in emails back and forth and through some comments you've been seeing lately, I've been talking about myself. Some people were asking some questions. And one person asked me, well, how did you get into doing the reviews? Because I realized that, you know, I started watching your Fake or Fine series and your Collectors series, and then all of a sudden the videos dropped off and you came back and then you started doing reviews. And there was a time, and I even think I said it in one video, that I didn't want to do reviews simply because of the fact that there were so many reviewers out there on YouTube already, and never mind the rest of the internet, and I really felt that one more reviewer on the web would cause the fucking floor to cave in, so to speak. You know, I just didn't want to sit there and blow smoke into a camera, first third, second third, and be another one of the same old thing. And I really didn't see a way past it. I didn't know that any of this stuff was going to take the form that it did. And I'm glad it did. It's wonderful, and it's continually developing. If you look at even some of the recent videos, never mind the terrible quality of Fake or Fine, if you look at the videos from when I first came back till now, 3 months later, the editing has improved dramatically. And we're still working on a lot of that stuff. And I have the website coming back up, and that's in the works. So there's a lot of cool things going on. But I figured, since so many people all of a sudden have been asking questions about, you know, what it is that, you know, made me start reviewing, I'd give them all an answer. And I guess I can do that right here. Again, I guess I could wait for the cigar. Let's wait for the cigar. I think that's cool. Because, you know what? I don't want to keep people, oh, come on, open the jar. Let's open the jar. Let's take a look at the cigars. Let's take a look at the packing here. FinestCubanCigars.com. let's see what we got. And then we'll go smoke one of these cigars and talk about the brand history and talk about this particular release, which is very special. And then maybe we'll talk a little bit about the show, look at a few viewer emails if we have some time, and what's going on. Sound good? Sound good. Let's do it. I already pre-opened everything earlier. Of course, I wanted to make sure everything was accounted for, as I always do. Plus, it saves video time. Bubble wrap. To the point where these cigars cannot move around. They just can't. All right? So they're not going to get damaged. Here are the cigars. They were also in this padded envelope. And then on the bottom there is more bubble wrap. You can see that. Instead of shoving them all in one big bag, they pack them so they can sit tightly in good-sized bags. And these bags are humidity bags. They're not like Boveda bags. Oh, my God. Huh. The smell is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just coming out of the... They're not open, are they? Holy crap. Wow. These smell amazing. That first whiff just hit me. There's no question about what these are. They're packed in these humidity bags that last approximately 90 days, and then you have to throw them out. I mean, you can use them as bags after that, but you can't replace the packs. Let's take a look at some of these cigars. San Cristobal de la Habana. Oh boy. The Torreon. Now this is a size that is not available outside the jar. Not available in the standard range. There have been a lot of jar releases where, you know, example, Romeo and Juliet Short Churchill, where the jar can easily be refilled with any old cigar and there's no date, you know, so these cigars are only available in the jar. It's a new size that they released, and it's good timing because many of you may know that San Cristobal has 4 Vitolas in the regular line, but they also have the LCDH cigar releases, La Casa del Habana releases, that were first introduced in a special 5th anniversary humidor. 5th anniversary. 5th anniversary humidor that came out for the brand. Anyway, people must have been pissed because those special cigars were available only in the humidor, and then all of a sudden, a few years later, they released all the sizes for anybody to grab. However, a new restriction has been passed by Habanos SA, declaring that La Casa del Habano releases must be limited. Why do you think they did that? Do you think it might be because of the egregious, insane amount of fucking money they're making off limited edition cigars by especially American clients who drool over anything that's limited? Hey, we're not the only ones. According to some recent statistics, 60% of all collectible Cuban cigars rest in Hong Kong hands. Just some little statistics I have read. Anyway, you get the idea. So, it's a good time for this size release because several of the sizes have been cut in 2012. There are still boxes going around for a while. But any of those LCDH San Cristobal cigars you see going around the net, they are discontinued, and those boxes will not be available much longer. So if you do want any of them, grab them now. If you're a collector and you didn't know that, you're welcome. Wow. Wow. Now I can just sit here and keep pulling these cigars out, but doesn't matter. We're going to shove them all in the jar any minute. Let's take some close-up pictures of these beauties. Why don't we, huh? Wow, the smell is just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There we go. That's nice. That's nice. Well packed. Well packed. Beautiful roll. Wrapper, look at that oily sheen. Nice oily sheen on that wrapper. So there is a nice group of our San Cristobal Torreon cigars. Really nice looking cigars. Amazing aroma coming out of these things. Why don't we shoot some video close-up of one of these? Let's take one of these babies. Oh, look how oily some of these are, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Really nice looking roll here. This wrapper is just making me want to smoke so bad right now. Nice size cigar. Nice size cigar. And there they are, all unpacked. The San Cristobal Torreon. Beautiful cigars. Beautiful shade. Beautiful finish. The sheen on that wrapper is just unbelievable. The roll looks really good on these. Really, really nice looking cigars. I found a cedar tray and I decided to use that so I could stack these up to show off the feet. That worked pretty well for taking the pictures and everything. So that's that. By the way, I forgot to mention 5.9 inches by 54 ring gauge. So it's a fairly large cigar. They're calling it a double Robusto. Let us get into the jar, shall we? I wish there was a way you could smell these. That's the only thing you're missing. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, unbelievable. The only thing that smells better than a Cuban cigar is a bunch of Cuban cigars. These are just really, really something. Very, very nice color. Beautiful. They smell like honey. It's like a milky sweetness, but there's this faint sour type of note in there. There's a sourish hint that smells delicious. When I say sour, sometimes people associate, sour as a bad thing. Not at all. It just smells delicious, There's a little bit of cedar in there, but it's mostly this milky honey type smell. With that faint sour note. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, let's get into the jar. Say goodnight, Max.